Hello and welcome to Tales of the Keeper's Coast, Glory's Shadow. We are back with this fun little thing that is part of Project Aurora, which I will go more into at the end. However, we will do a quick introduction of our place and then we will jump right into it. Let's start off with Storm. Why don't you introduce yourself for the audience?
Hey there guys, the Oblivious Gamer here, and I am playing Storm, a Tetra Genasi barbarian that kind of wandered into this group and now might not have been a good idea for him to join it.
Kind of been wrapped up in a myriad of um, fun stuff. We'll see how that
Yeah.
evolves. Erna, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Erna. I am the party's spirits bard. I am the fortune teller. Go by they them pronouns, and I'm a hexblood.
All right, next up, Macaron.
Hello, I am Maple. I play Macaron slash Nemo. She's a wild surge barbarian, and all and my best friends are here.
Yes. Uh, um, and last but certainly not least, Maximus.
Hello, I am Keaton playing Maximus Helios, the devoted cleric in the party, trying to keep these idiots alive and trying to guide us on our proper destiny, as I'm a follower of Clothis.
Indeed. And we also sadly have two players missing. Uh, Osmanthus and Iris are not available today, but we will keep trucking on ahead, as they'll probably come up later and may or may not need to be rescued. We'll see how things go.
Wait, what?
What? Hold up.
Yeah, I think with that, as I sidestep that conversation, we can begin. We'll start with a recap. So, when we last left off, you all had arrived in town. Specifically in that of the town of... Here we go. Fog Bank Bay. As you arrived there, you had some curious conversations with many of the residents as well as the governor of the town about the deals made long past with the ancient spirits of this land that have seemingly been forgotten and broken. And so this, the governor said that he would help you and try and find any way that he could. And you also managed to have a brief feast of sorts with you and the senator that you were here with, the one that originally brought you on the large airship that crashed. However, the next day, you discovered he was dead, murdered. It was that Erna used their spirit bard abilities to bring back the body of the dead for a few final questions, and you received some cryptic answers as to what happened here. But you were pretty sure that he was murdered, and from what you seem to believe by who was his companion, or at least someone looking like them, Echo, who is seemingly missing from the situation. Is also with this. A new figure arrived. What looked to be a large Empire vessel, with upon it being a large contingency of the guards, or it would technically be the standing army of the city. And what looked to be someone that called himself. Here we go. Praetor Julian Bellator. Or Praetor Bellator, as he's also known. who seem to have interest with you all, having been the person that was called upon by the senator to come find you all, and hopefully bring back the survivors of the fallen wreckage of the great airship. However, upon being told by you guys that the senator was dead, the praetor immediately rushed off in the direction of the senator's room.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Oz and Iris decided to go investigate the Fae, and have not been seen since.
I mean, they just left. Let's calm down.
Yeah, they literally just left. It's not like they haven't been
Yeah, as
seen
long as
since.
they're not like, whoa, no, missing territory just yet.
I see.
Although,
If you would like to believe
along
that,
from
sure.
okay, cool. They were immediately kidnapped. Awesome.
Hey,
No.
we left them alone for 2 seconds.
But yes, the praetor in his heavy paladin-like armor rushes past you all, seemingly intent on finding
Okay.
the body of the senator. You do see the other standing guards, or soldiers, I should say, seem to follow after him and begin to cordon off the area of the inn that you were all staying in.
Does he allow us to follow him, or is he just like, you gotta stay here?
He doesn't say anything specifically as to that, so that's up to you.
Okay. As he storms off, I kind of just, or Maximus kind of just looks after him and sees that the congregation of guards surrounding the now busy inn, and I try to help any of the civilians kind of find a way out of the way. Basically, he's just kind of playing crowd control
Yeah.
while the praetor goes to see the gruesome sight of the dead body.
Yeah. It seems like what the soldiers are focused on is making sure the people that are in the building stay in the building, and those that are outside it don't come in.
Okay.
Because they still don't have all the information for the situation yet. They're just locking
Yeah,
it
we
down.
did just tell me that. I don't know when or why, anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of said he was
Technically-
dead.
I mean, yeah, they didn't give us time to explain, but okay. Does anyone have any ideas as to what exactly we should do, or should we just go talk to the praetor?
Honestly,
Maybe they're better equipped to investigate this. Got a few things, but unfortunately, unless we know where to find the suspect. Sorry, it's not a character, but yeah.
Yeah, I do feel, this is Maximus speaking, I do feel a little bit of responsibility since he was our charge. I feel like getting down to the root of this would be beneficial. Besides, we saw the crest of the fanatical cult of Mogus, and they're the reasons we're stranded here on this island in the first place. Kind of seems connected, if I do say so myself.
But
So we don't
why
want
do we?
this echo running about.
Where do we
Sure.
start looking though?
This is a very good question. I wouldn't suppose anyone has a spell to locate people.
Hmm.
A somewhat higher level spell, I believe, so...
they only know elemental magic.
The most I have is magical awareness, but I'm pretty sure she's long gone by now.
Yeah.
Have clairvoyance, but well, that won't help now.
No. It seems that our threads are running cold. My best guess to do at the moment is to speak with the praetor and see what his next course of action is. At least that's what I will do. If you guys wish to follow me, I will not stop you.
Sure.
Maximus heads inside, assuming that the guards allow him,
They
and
stop you
tries.
for a moment, but then seem to recognize that you spoke with the Praetor and let you in.
Mhm. I attempt to find the Praetor wherever he is, assuming he's in the senator's room,
Yep.
and see if I'm allowed access to talk to him. Basically,
You would find him there, however, before you can actually step into the room, there are 2 guards that block your path. And they say, "What's your business here?"
do I recognize either of these
We're
guards?
the
Or
ones that we're the ones that found the body, so um, we would just like to explain what we found.
With that, you hear a voice from inside go, "Let them in. Perhaps they can shed light on this situation." The guards step back, allow you inside.
all right, we all funnel in.
Storm was initially hesitant to follow, but decides to follow anyway.
Okay.
As you do, you would see the Praetor kind of kneeling over the body of the senator, his hand kind of placed upon his body as he seems to be focusing, before he stands up and turns to you all.
Hello. Again,
Hello.
I don't think we were properly introduced.
No, I
My name is
suppose not.
Maximus. This here is my current traveling party. We have, and I kind of just like introduced the rest of them, if they're okay with that.
Hi, hi.
We have Macaron, Storm, and Erna. There are more of us, but they are currently not present. For your information, we were the ones, amongst others, charged with our late senator's protection.
I see. My condolences, then.
It's much appreciated, but it is with heavy heart that our task was failed. We merely wished to come here and explain what we found and any information that my friend Erna over here was able to glean from his post-mortem body.
I see. Very well, then.
Without having to recount everything that we went into last session, Maximus gives the cliff notes as well as like his final words that he said, and says, "We found him like this later in the later in the day, but we assumed that it happened around mid-evening last night."
That seems to match with what I've discovered so far.
If I may be so bold, what do you plan to do now? We are kind of at a loss for what to do now. We don't really have any good leads, as well as we don't really have any good suspects, at least not on hand.
Unfortunately, I was sent here, I should say, to retrieve the senator and those that were involved in the crash of the, and he would say the name of the airship. Let's see if I can find it again. The Sovereign Conjunction.
And I'm guessing that's all you're.
Well, I suppose now I'm investigating the situation. I need to find out why this happened. If a senator dies, that makes things very complicated back in the capital. It means a replacement has to be found, and that's not an easy job.
What would happen to the rest of the survivors? I see that you brought your warship with you. Would they be able to take refuge there instead of hiding out here in a dangerous spot?
The plan still is to take them back to the capital. Perhaps there they'll be able to find suitable shipping or whatever is needed back to their homes. Or to the Empire, if that is indeed their destination.
The only recourse action that we have right now is exploring the possible what's the word I'm looking for? Companion that he had, Echo. But honestly, we have no idea, no way of tracking her, nor any way of confirming that she's still even on the island.
That is concerning.
Do you know more about Miss Echo?
Unfortunately, I've never heard such a name before. I don't know of many elves either.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do have suspicion amongst our party that it may have been a changeling or someone under the guise of magic assuming the role of Echo. The senator seemed to have long history with him or with her, and this kind of this kind of action from someone so close to him doesn't seem likely. So it makes it all the more harder to pinpoint who could have done this.
I see. Do you have a description for the perpetrator?
Again, it's only a possible suspect, and I go into the description of Echo, kind of tall, elvish, generic.
Yeah.
Red hair.
Kind of notes that down. I see. Do you have any ideas for possible motives? Why someone would kill the senator?
No, that's the other odd part. Because, well, on the airship, there were these cult members that went around stabbing and killing people, I think. And
Indeed.
and she like looks at Maximus like, you want to fill in the details because I don't really know what happened after that.
That's fair. You were kind of not present for some of that. Essentially, the cultists took the airship down. They seemed intent on our charge, the senator here, but we weren't able to question any of them. Most of them took their own life before the ship even hit the ground. When we were on the ground, we thought that they were all disposed of. Hence, why when we discovered their sigil on Sir Pugnus's chest, we were taken aback.
In fact, you see the praetor kneel down to where the symbol is and pick it up. You see him look at it for a few moments before he just kind of clenches it into a fist in his hand as he goes, "It seems they've struck here as well."
Has there been other attacks recently?
Well, from what I hear, the senator seemed to have trusted you.
We have no intentions of betraying the Empire, as well as no intentions of betraying you.
I mean, to be fair, we're independent.
This is fair.
In which case, this is not the first assassination of a senator the hand of Mogus has committed. In fact, it seems to only be growing as the months go by.
That's concerning.
Yes.
So I'm assuming previously, this is Keaton talking, previously when we were filling in the Praetor with all the information that we had, we mentioned the part of the questions that Erna asked and the fact that one of them was like, why would they want to kill you? Like, what was the motive? And he said there was no motive, it was a distraction. What was the what was the Praetor's reaction to like that whole situation?
You can make
Did he have any
insight check if you'd like?
I would love to make an insight check.
Make one as well.
Might as well, even though it probably won't help.
Let's try it.
16. Good job, Macron. You're participating.
and I was here too.
For Maximus and Erna, you kind of get the feeling that he's confused by that himself.
Okay. Going off of that, I mentioned it's possible that we asked the Senator Pugnus if he had any direct interactions with the cult, and he said he did not, at least that he didn't have any idea why he would be targeted. Perhaps if there are other senators being murdered or assassinated, as you put it, there's a bigger ploy going on, and the senators are just, like he said, a distraction. And maybe it's not just him that's a distraction, but all of them.
A distraction. Then what is it that they'd be going after?
Well, may I ask what the center exactly was in charge of? If maybe there's some kind of commonality besides the fact they're just senators. Like maybe what kind of
Sadly,
what
we've
it
tried
is.
to look into that, but our investigation has showed no real connection between any of them. Senator Pugnus here was the senator of a small mining village.
What about the others?
Senators from all over. Some even that are senators of areas of the capital.
Is there... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying they're just all, and they were just all murdered at random.
Yes. Usually done through stealth. Though there are some cases where it seems they were made an example of.
That is a unpleasant image. I would like to express our standing that we don't necessarily, the four of us, as well as our party members, come from a little island called Duskvale, and we aren't fully aware of the workings of the Empire as of right now. If I may ask, what rung on the ladder of hierarchy do senators sit at? I get that you are a praetor, one of the highest ranking members. What would rank right above a senator?
It's a little more complicated than that. The senators themselves form the main democratic arm of the empire. It's them that votes on new policies and new actions. The only one I guess that stands above him is either the emperor, and well, it seems to take him a moment as he reads through
Looks
the
up his
law
notes.
document that I do.
Pulls out a notepad
Takes
and
moments.
starts flipping.
Takes a moment.
Excuse me a
Takes a
moment.
moment to open up-
Yeah.
takes a moment
Pull
to
out
open
this
up Google.
pamphlet like a script. Okay, where am I supposed to
Yep.
read from?
Fuck, who am I again? He said, be the emperor, or the Speaker of the Form. Well, the Speaker of the Form himself is a senator.
And if I may ask, has there been any attempts on the speaker's life?
Surprisingly, no. At least none that we've discovered.
I apologize for all the questions. I'm just trying to put pieces together.
It's understandable.
I look to my party members and I'm just like, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm at a loss for what to do here. I believe that this threat is not yet over, but where we come into the story is yet to be revealed.
Well,
I
it's
say
all-
we...
well, the problem is there's no connecting thread between any of the murders, but it's also not random. Well, we also can't say it's random because they're all senators. But the
Maybe
question
don't
is,
look at.
I was going to ask about that. Is it possible that the death cult could be murdering senators to install their own?
That is possible. And if that is the case, that is quite concerning. The one thing that seems to link all the murders is the symbol of the hand of Mogus is left upon their chest, as he kind of gestures out to the one he has in his hand.
but the other
What?
thing that the other thing that bugs me is those Mogus guys don't seem very interested in politics as much as just destroying everything.
Politics can be a very powerful thing
Mhm.
into the wrong hands.
And if they do
Is-
attempt to infiltrate the Senate, they could run all kinds of chaos.
Is there any important, I would say, legislation or meetings coming up in the next few months or weeks?
I'm sure there's plenty, but I'm not particularly versed in it myself. My
Fair enough.
job is that of a servant of the Emperor and as one of his soldiers.
Arna brings up a very good point that if they are being slowly infiltrated by the cult themselves, then basically the very foundations of the empire can be starting to be unraveled. I think, while this may be bigger than just on our hands, this cult itself needs to be dealt with.
That is very true.
Though it's a bigger task than I would like to care for, to admit.
Easier said than done.
Exactly.
The cult has infiltrated almost every forms of life. There are many within the Empire that disagree with the Emperor's current stance of things. I would not be surprised if many actually champion the intent of the worshippers of Mogus.
Well, so far as to kill them, big is a bit extreme.
Yes, well, they are very extreme.
Extreme measures met with extreme measures only results in casualties. However, sometimes it is a necessary evil.
Perhaps.
They are a death cult. Casualties is the goal.
That too. When it comes to things
Exactly.
like this, we need to find the heart of it. Cut off the head so the poison doesn't spread any further. Still, it doesn't mean we can go around doing whatever we like. There are rules and order put in place.
Rules are a gray area when it comes to mercenaries like us. Though we shall strive to not outright break them.
That is true enough. Well, it seems to me that you are no friend to the cult of Mogus.
Certainly
nope.
not.
Nope, not a big fan. Nope, not a big fan of murder.
At this point, has anybody dealt with the body?
No, it's still
Like,
there.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify, if we're just talking about a dead corpse and it's just starting to stink.
Yeah,
Maximus will.
but it's specifically not like rotting.
Yeah,
Seems
I mean,
actually
it's only been
motion.
it's only been a few hours, so I'm not expecting it to be decaying yet. But I'm just like, Maximus will give a slight bow and say, "With all due respect, I will take my leave of this room. It is not sitting well with my stomach."
Yes, that's fair. Perhaps we should continue this conversation outside. And with that, you see him go over to the body, and he places his hand on it, and you can see he grabs onto a holy symbol. It's kind of just, kind of tucked into his armor that he pulls out. And you see there is a slight glow of golden energy around the body before he stands up and makes his way out, gesturing for you all to follow him.
We do.
To-do.
We do.
As you arrive outside in the main inn area, you can see the guards have already begun to cordon off the area. And he seems to take a seat at one of the tables. Or more to say, he sits upon the table, just kind of leaning back in thought, before he looks at you all once again and goes, "Perhaps there is a way you might be able to help us out."
We are mercenaries without a job at the moment.
Independent
all ears.
pirate, not mercenary.
I do apologize, Macron. Independent pirate.
Yes, well, normally the Empire does not deal with pirates. but I think an exception needs to be made in this situation. Let's just say I believe that the Praetorian Guard are completely out of their element when it comes to this. We're used to defending the Emperor, not his entire Senate. But things have changed recently with the increase of assassinations and assassination attempts. As well, it seems that with the senator's death, a new senator will be elected in his place.
Indeed.
I think this senator needs to be vetted out and ensure this senator is not killed before he can take the stand. Or to see if he is one who is sympathetic to the cult of Mogus's cause.
If I'm understanding you correctly, are you asking us to protect this senator candidate, or are you asking us to investigate this senator candidate?
If possible, both. We don't really know anything going into this. We know it'll be someone from the mining island. However, their allegiances, even which family they'll be a part of, is kind of hard to gauge.
Well, at what point would you consider this job started? We currently are down a few members, and we would not want to leave without them, so...
In that case, you can regroup with your other members when you would like. Until then, I'll probably still continue to investigate the area, see if there's anything the killer may have left behind.
Okay.
Very well.
We appreciate the business offer, and once we have convened with our entire party and come to a decision, we will be sure to return and give it to you.
Of course.
Maximus kind of turns to the rest of the party at this point and says, as of right now, we do have some unfinished business on this island, apart from this ordeal. I would like to see it finished before we depart, if that's all the same with you.
What is it the thing with that plant lady?
Not just her, but yes, who she speaks for.
As long as you don't take too long. I plan to leave probably in the next couple days. We'll need to make sure we have all the supplies secured.
Remind me, DM, we talked to the governor of this town about setting up a meeting, right?
Yep.
With the... I don't remember what we're calling them. With the primal people of the forest. Did we give a time for that yet, or did we just say, like, hey, we're going to try to set up a meeting?
Not yet. It's
Okay.
literally been a few hours since he
Yeah,
told you
yeah.
that.
Okay, so don't worry. We plan to have this situation resolved rather quickly. We just, personally, I would like to see it finished before we leave.
Very well then.
And I turn to Macaron and I'm just like, it shouldn't take all that long. We just need to find the right people to talk to.
If it takes longer than a few days, I might have to send the survivors back before me. But I'll probably still be on the island until you all come to me with an answer.
Thank you for your patience.
At this point, you're one of the few leads I have.
Elites?
Leads.
Oh, I thought you said elites, and I was like, I'm an elite? Neat.
No, I don't think you would say that.
My Maximus' goal now is to be praised by the praetor. Keaton speaking now. Do you guys have any idea what we should do next? Because I don't know how far we can get without Oz and Iris, as well as, how far we should go without Oz and Iris.
Honestly, right now, there's only a couple things we can do. want to try to get another meeting set up with the governor and see if he's got anything set up yet.
Well, we need to talk to the denizens of the forest too, to make sure that
Yeah.
they're okay with the meeting. So
I
I don't know.
think that's what Oz and Iris.
So they were trying to
No,
go
they
to
went off. They sensed a Fey presence on like the edge of the town, so they went and investigated.
Right. So we don't know what they're doing at this point.
Nope.
We technically don't even know where they are. We just know that they went to the edge of the forest.
Hey, if you
So
want, yeah, let's try to set up that meeting then from the forest citizens.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess it's the only way we have right now while we wait for our whole party to be convened. Oh my
Whole
God,
potty.
whole party. It'll be
Alright.
fine. It'll be fine.
Alright then, so it's with that. You guys, what do you do specifically? Are you gonna go into the forest, try and convene with the, perhaps the tree lady from before?
Let's go talk to the tree lady.
Hey, lady.
Alright.
Fucking
Yeah.
kill us. Let's go talk to her.
Let's go die. Oz and I are gonna come back and be like, "Where's everybody?"
Yeah.
See a pile of corpses.
Background probably leave a note for them, like in the room, like, hey, went to go talk to the tree lady. See you back later.
That'd
Alright.
probably be a good idea.
That was
Just-
it. Just in case they come back before us.
Gonna say, dear Oz and Iris, hope you had fun on your adventure. Thought, murder was happening here, and it kind of smells bad, so we went to go talk to the tree lady. While we figure out this whole cultist mess. Kissy face, kissy face, kissy face. Hacker on. Kissy face.
Very well.
Alright. It's with that, as you guys begin making your way to the forest after leaving the note, you hear sounds of yelling. And also the sounds of something wooden colliding with stone.
Oh,
Okay.
And as
Wait,
again-
we were.
so I do begin to reach the edge of the village.
And then we hear the wood colliding with stone.
Yep. And yelling.
what was
God.
that?
I don't know. We should go investigate. That doesn't seem good. We start running towards the sound, or at least Maximus does.
Definitely heading that way too.
As you do, you come across a scene where you see a box seems to have been tipped over from a large stack of them and is just smashed upon the ground. And you can see a couple people that seem to be yelling about something that came through and pushed them over. You see a few people that are just kind of on the ground or collapsed or seem to have fallen over. At this point, I'd like you all to make perception checks.
Perception?
Yep.
What is it with just things that don't make sense for him to be good at?
Hey man,
You see God.
Storm is amazing.
Max just can't see anything.
Hey,
Oh, there we go.
Ooh.
Ernest saw everything. Ernest saw the past, the future, the present, tomorrow.
Which just makes sense.
So, Maximus, you don't see anything. You just see people kind of falling over and seem to be tripping over themselves while they're yelling. You also see what looks to be something else that kind of falls down and clatters into the ground. However, for Miyama, you see like something like almost like air is being pushed about as like a breeze is coming through and knocking things over. However, for Storm and Erna, you actually see what seems to be causing this. As you just kind of glance, what looks to be tiny little people that are just running around at extreme speeds, knocking into things and people, just running about and causing chaos.
What's happening? Max is just like looking around at all the people, not even looking at anything specific, just like, oh my god!
Is it a windstorm?
Would Storm happen to know what these little creatures running around are?
Could make a nature check or an arcana check, your choice.
I'd like to make one as well.
You may.
No, I do not.
That little man. Yep, Erna, that's a little person. You don't really know what it is.
Alright, well, I'm casting sleep.
Alright then. As you cast sleep upon the creature, you
Wait,
see...
it was like a bunch of little?
Yep. Bunch of little dudes, like this thing.
This is like a 90-foot by... like... That is like a 20-foot area thing.
It was like 5 foot, so it's like... It takes up less than 2 feet. In fact, it takes about not even like a foot. It's tiny. It's considered a tiny creature. And as you activate the 90-foot area, you can see the people that just kind of be in the area where they're running about start to fall asleep as well. However, these little creatures don't seem to be affected.
Would I be able to see anything at this point, since it's all the other people are down and just these little things are running around?
No.
Or am I still just looking at all the idiots and just like, oh?
And we are back. Sorry for the interruption there. OBS decided to crap out on me. So what we left off, there were little men that were running about causing trouble. And Storm was trying to cast Earth Meld, whichever one, to try and stop it in its tracks. However, Storm, your ability to control your magic doesn't seem to be fast enough, as these creatures just seem to quickly divert and move out of the way.
Well, that's surprising considering it didn't go down the magic path in the first place.
Yep. And Erna, from what you can kind of get from these creatures, they just seem to be causing chaos. Just running about, knocking people over, knocking other things over, and you can even think you could tell they seem to be laughing towards themselves.
So you're just little gremlins.
What would you guys like to do?
Erna, what are you doing?
Is there a reason that we're destroying the Earth?
We thought it's easy to stop them by using Earth. It did not work.
I tried
Them?
putting him to sleep, but yes, there are tiny little men that are just causing chaos around here.
Are you just asking to stop?
I tried putting him to sleep.
Hey, that's not asking.
These little things are feeding off of it, so I don't know if it even work. We can try.
Just saying, you could probably ask him to stop. Is that possible? Well, DM.
I don't know, are you gonna try and ask them to stop?
Roll persuasion and see if it works.
Depends what you say. What are you saying to them?
I guess I can't see them, so I'm just gonna talk to the wind.
Mm.
Like, excuse me, can you stop for a moment?
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I'm gonna
Um.
give you guidance.
You really should.
Oh wow.
All right.
It's that's perception, not persuasion.
Oh, that's perception? My
That's
bad.
perception, yeah. Oops.
Sorry, they're next to each other.
They are.
Yeah.
15's
Honestly,
not bad.
not. Yeah.
All right. You see there's like a sudden stop, and at this point, all of you can see what looks to be a little blue man with pointed ears and kind of white hair that's kind of shocked backwards. And you see it turn and look towards you, Miyama. And then it runs in your direction. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. You do
Oh, no.
have advantage because of
Oh yeah, magical awareness.
Yep.
Or at least understand something like that.
or I think it's like surprise or something. It's something you have as
It-
barbarian.
It's something. Let me look at my features real quick.
Can't be surprised is what it is, I think. Barbarian trait specifically.
Right.
Yeah, it's danger. I have advantage on
Danger
dex
sense.
saving throws against when I'm not blinded or deafened. So basically, I can sense it's coming towards me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make a dexterity check.
Um,
Advantage. Or advantage.
Damn.
Oof. You feel it kind of run through, kind of attempting to trip you up with its speed. However, you just barely manage to stay on your feet as you see it kind of run around through your legs before it runs back to where it was before, and then seems to look over to you, and then seem to have a disappointed look on its face as you seem to still be standing.
First off, personal space, bubble space, please. Second of all, hi, my name is Macaron. Is there a reason why you're running around so quickly? I mean, you're very, very fast. That's pretty impressive, but is there a reason why?
Why didn't you fall over? Usually,
Huh?
your kind fall over when I run through legs.
Oh, well, you see, I have this big hammer. It tends to keep me very grounded. Not very good for swimming, though.
Not as fun.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your fun or anything. Just asking a question.
It seems to blink at an extremely fast speed.
You're very quick. Again, that's really impressive.
I am very quick. I am quickest of them all. And then you see another one come in and kind of punch him in the side of the arm and goes, "No, I am quickest." And now you see there are two blue people here.
Oh. Hey, no need to get punchy.
I have an idea. Whoever's the first to find a dryad can claim to be the fastest.
Ha! We already know where Dryad is. Yeah!
Then go find her.
But why would
Probably
we?
moved by then. Probably moved.
Nah, she doesn't move very far. Always stays in the same area. And then you see the other one punch the other one in the arm and go, "You're not supposed to tell people that!" What?
Oh, it's...
So we know where we find her.
Oh, and she like again background. She's like, oh, don't punch each other. That's not very nice. Look, we won't tell anyone you said that, especially not the dryad. Okay? Gotta be nice to each other.
What? Him? They both say at the same time.
Yes, him. Like she sounds like an older sister like scorning her little brothers. Now I know you're both very, very quick, but you have to be nice to each other. I'm sure if you guys work together, you guys are twice as fast.
also at this point, Maximus and Macaron, you can make nature or arcana checks if you would like.
You know what would be even more fun than tripping up all these random people?
Max, you were supposed to actually be good at this shit.
I told you,
That
intelligence is not my good stat. Max is
Max-
off in the distance doing something else.
I told
kinda
you those
wandered
nature.
off.
I told you putting advantage in nature would be useful for something. I didn't know what, but I knew it'd be good.
For you,
Why
Miyama,
why think all my friends are Fae are based in the Fae?
yeah. So for you, Miyama, you can definitely tell that these are fey creatures of some sort, and you believe you've heard stories about little fast blue men that they call quicklings.
Was it Sonic? I was gonna say Sonic. Quickling. Got it.
Yeah, sometimes known as like speed incarnate. They're very fast. They're hard to catch, and they can be very annoying when they want to be.
You'd just be like, I think I remember seeing a picture of you guys in the book Iris showed me. You're quicklings, right?
Yeah, that's us. I mean, no, we're evil spirits. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no, evil spirits. That's not good.
You're not very intimidating.
No, they're plenty intimidating. Look at all the stuff. She's just like again, she's being like a sister that's like, oh no, you did really well. Good job, you know.
They seem to smile and
"No,
look
they-"
around the chaos they've caused. As you see people, some of them asleep on the ground and others kind of like rubbing their backside as they're trying to stand up and get out of the situation.
Yeah, see all the things you did. So yes, you're very evil spirits. Can I ask you a question though?
What?
Why are such evil spirits like you trying to tear up the town?
No reason. They lie.
Did somebody ask you to do this?
No. They lie.
Mm,
Why?
It's just very easy to tell.
So plainly, just like they're lying.
Oh yeah, 100%.
it's not nice to be fibbing, you know.
It's not nice that they invade ancient land.
Oh,
Shut up!
I
Look,
get it.
we are trying to find out a solution to that. And actually, we were just on our way to speak to some of your people to set up a meeting with the governor of this town to see if we can go back to the original boundaries.
Well,
We have
hopefully find a
solution. We scare them away so they don't come into our area. Stop
See,
them.
that never happens because if you try scaring them, they will be scared. But that fear will only turn into anger, and they will come after you even more. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, that's how it always happens.
Ha!
yeah,
Like they could catch us.
but that's not the problem. You guys could damage your home even more. You don't want to give them a reason to go into your home, especially not to hurt it.
But this is reason why they shouldn't. They look
But
confused.
they'll also use it as a reason to hurt your home even more.
I seem to just
Some
kind of
humans,
go ahead.
if there's a guard nearby, she'll just be like, some humans aren't so easily scared off. They'll come back with pointy sticks and sharp metal and use it to cut down your home.
They seem to just
Storm
stare
is
at
gonna
you for
point
a
his
moment.
axe like this.
You see one of them starts picking their nose. And they just kind of stare at you blankly, not really seemingly registering what you're saying.
I roll persuasion.
You can if you'd like, with disadvantage. Okay, 13. Do you say anything in specific to them?
This was just kind of for what we've been saying.
No. They just,
Yeah, I just
they
wanted to
don't
see if I
seem to
gotten-
get it. They're definitely not the brains of the operation.
How about this? Is there something that you want to if there's something that you want is there something we can do to make you kind of stop for a little bit?
What are you offering?
Um, I should kind of thinking for a moment.
As a Fae myself, would I know what they'd like?
Fae like all kinds of things, but they love above all else games, promises, and contracts. You also don't know much about which court these guys are from, so that kind of limits your options as well.
Is Maximus still digging in the trash, or is he like?
I imagine you've kind of given up and you come back and you're like, oh yeah, there are
Okay.
blue men here.
Okay, cool. I've been playing around like he's just like, for some reason his child came out. He's just like, a ball. So Maximus just leans in and like, so what exactly are these blue men doing, and what exactly are we asking them to do?
They're quicklings,
Ah.
and we're
Here to cause chaos, and they're just on orders.
Do we know whose orders?
Not yet.
Okay. And
right
trying to-
now. Well, right now we're just trying to see if they can stop for a little bit, but I don't think it's so simple just to ask them. They want something in return.
And Maximus turning to the quicklings, and what exactly were you offered to do what you were doing now? Because maybe we can do that and more.
We were offered fun, and that's what we got.
Well, what kind of fun are you to be playing on defenseless people? Why not give yourself a challenge?
What kind of challenge?
I heard there's a very big, scary T-Rex in the jungle.
Old Hookmall? He pretty scary, but he not as fast as us.
Imagine the fun trying to trip him.
Make a persuasion roll.
Would I give him advantage? Or hurt them?
I'll say your ability disrupts what would be disadvantage, so just roll it straight.
Sure.
Am I able to use guidance on myself?
I'll allow it.
Oh, best cantrip.
A 15. They seem to consider it for a moment. Not bad idea.
Could you imagine how funny it would be if that big dinosaur fell down because of some quick little guys like you?
That would be fun. Alright, we're gonna do that.
We'll have fun with that, but crap. I was gonna say something, but I don't remember what it was. So ignore me.
In which case, you see there as a as they seem to disappear, rushing off into the forest.
He's still not intimidating.
I don't think
I
the
don't
point
think
was that
that's
they're
the point.
the problem is there's gonna be more Fey attacks like that if we don't come to if we don't come to agreement and soon.
Yes, you are right on that matter. Thankfully, we're trying to solve this matter as fast as possible.
And it did say the Dryad's still in the forest, right where she was last time.
They did. Oh, well, that's convenient. At least we do not have to go looking for her. We can just ask her to talk with us. That should be easy, right?
I would know.
It was a really poor attempt at sarcasm. I'm sorry.
Let's get moving. The sooner the better.
Agreed. Probably need a... What time is it at this point in the day? Is it like noon?
Yeah, it's about noon.
Let's get this over with before it gets dark. Because we still have to travel to where that grove was and then back. How far away was it?
About half a day's journey to where the grove was.
Oh,
So we'd get there and it'd be evening by the time we get there.
Round about, yeah.
damn. Well, Maximus rescinds his statement and just says, let's get this over with so we aren't, spending multiple days in the forest.
Me light.
Assuming that we're, heading out of town, when we approach, the edge of the forest or, where town meets forest, and if we still don't see Iris and Oz, in a desperate ploy, Maximus will kind of reach out and cast message. Not expecting it to hit anyone, but if it does, he just says, "We are venturing into the forest. There's a note for you back at the inn. Please be safe." I'm assuming there's no reply, but
There's no confirmation. Yeah.
okay.
It's possible they may have heard it, though.
Okay. And then we continue on.
Alright, you
Hopefully
guys
no dangers await us in this forest.
make your way into the jungle.
The mighty jungle.
The T-Rex lurks tonight.
Yeah, please let's not a counter hook mob with just the four of us.
He seems to be the only monster in this forest so far that we've encountered. There might be some others.
You think he's the only one.
Now that you said that, we're fricked.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Can you keep your thoughts to yourself?
I'm sorry, I'm too used to Let's Play curse.
Well, it was nice knowing you all. We're gonna die. We'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Macron's just.
Okay, now we're definitely dead.
Yeah, now she really gonna find us without even questioning, just break our necks.
We'll all just simultaneously trip on the same route.
Alright.
While you guys are tripping on a route, I'm literally knocking off half of this shell on my desk.
Okay.
I'm so proud of you.
Alright.
I'm serious though. I've got way too many cables off the front of it, so I ended up pulling out one and it toppled 3 or 4 different things off.
Alright.
Macron's just skipping to the shoes.
Alright. After half a day's journey, you eventually make your way back to where the glade where you were at before. As you do see appearing from the wildlife, the druid, the dryad that you noticed before, as she seems to turn to you, a half scowl on her face as she says, "You return to my lands. Why do you trespass here once more?"
Hi. We actually came to invite you to somewhere.
He speaks the truth. We come with good tidings, hopefully. We want to invite you to a meeting with the leader of the humans
At the port.
Sorry, Bogbank Bay.
And why would I attend this meeting?
Well, I think it's to reestablish the borders between your sacred land and the human port. It seems as though the agreement was so long ago that the humans there don't remember. So, to give them a fair chance, we are hoping you and their mayor would be able to discuss a sort of truce, and
A
hopefully also
truce. It is them
hopefully
that invade my lands. The ancient lands that exist and belong to the primordial beings of this realm. Why should I have to discuss any truce with them?
because, well, if more Fae go into the at this point, if more Fae go into the port, they're gonna cause this. It might cause more trouble and endanger the rest of your land. And like I said, the humans now don't even remember making an agreement with you. I think it'd be at least a little fair if they were given a slight chance at establishing new borders and boundaries, or at least understanding the dangers of trying to expand into your land any more than they already have.
Promises were made, and promises have been broken. A price must be paid.
Well,
I'm sorry, my
as
lady, but those promises, as a new generation comes in, those generations are only remembered by one side. Don't think that's very fair of them.
I understand that promises were made, but like take it from someone that tends not to remember half her days sometimes. It's hard to maintain promises that you don't even remember agreeing to. These humans didn't know any better. They shouldn't be
Yeah,
they shouldn't suffer for what they don't know.
we have already talked to the governor, and he's going to talk to his board about this meeting, and we're hoping for positive outcomes for everybody.
Alright, whoever's leading this conversation can make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
I like I was talking now, but
If you'd like to, if you still have stuff to say, you can say it.
I was actually gonna add something if it's okay with everybody else.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um,
I was about to say like, "Fuck you, Dryad." And no, so you're about to.
Double disadvantage. No.
Maximus will step forward and say, I am aware that the beings of this forest are timeless, and with that, they lack a certain understanding of the ephemeral aspect of the human life. They come and go from this world as fast as a bird flaps its wings for you. But for us, we seek to add something to this world that wasn't there when we first got there. What I'm trying to say is that these humans that you are so upset at are merely doing what's in their nature, and you are merely doing what's in your nature. Is it not beneficial for the both of you to come to an understanding, to a point in the middle where neither one of you is outright harmed? And the only way to do that is to attend some sort of meeting to facilitate both sides. What my party members are trying to get at is that we are trying to save both sides the heartache of further warfare.
Alright. That'll be a persuasion roll at standard.
Alright, who has the highest persuasion modifier?
Probably.
I got plus
look
five.
at me.
I have
I have
I have +7.
+5. Oh, +7?
I have +10.
Wait, what?
I have +10.
You have +10?
Jeez.
I built Maximus to be the talker of the group.
Go ahead.
It's
Alright,
very
you-
clear.
Sure can talk.
I'll give you guidance then.
Oh, I don't know if he needs it. I don't know.
Oh,
Let's see if
okay.
we can get
If
over
you
30.
roll the guidance, see what you get. All right, that's above 30.
32.
32. She seems to look at you for a moment, and then nods slowly as she goes. I do not wish to see further harm done to my home and the homes of my protectorates. If an agreement can be made, I am willing to meet with this governor.
This is most gracious of you, and I give a slight bow.
We will meet
you have-
at the edge of the forest, where it meets with their home.
Is there any particular time that you wish to do this, or is it just whenever we are there, you will arrive?
When the sun is highest on the next day, I will be there.
Yeah.
Okay. I turn and give a slight smile to my fellow members, and I just say, one step forward in the right direction. I turn
Like
back. Oh, go ahead.
Macron's just smiling excitement. Yay, diplomacy! Yay!
I turn back to the dryad. Do we have the dryad's name, or
No, she never gave you a name.
okay?
No
If
one?
how that's what I was gonna ask. Like, would you perhaps have a name that we could call you by?
She kind of looks at you for a few moments before she answers. Juniper.
Oh, what a pretty name.
Juniper, it is with great pleasure that we are having this meeting, let alone promises of a future one. We shall return to Bogbank Bay, and deliver the news of this to the governor. He will be ecstatic, I am sure.
I see. Very well then. We shall see you when the time comes. And with that, she fades into the greenery behind her.
Yeah, I wanted to do something real quick.
Oh, what you want to do?
I wanted to like step forward. Like pluck a mushroom from my crown. And then kneel and just like say, Lady, in good faith, I leave you with one of my mushrooms so that I may contact you, let you know about news
She nods and takes
from
it
the
from you.
village.
Thank you.
And yeah,
With I think that if we are so wait. DM question. When she said at the highest point on the next day, does that mean like it took us
Midday.
half a day from noon? Well,
Yeah.
I knew it was midday, but it's like midday the next day, or it's like in 2 days time, because like it's gonna take us half a day to get back, and by that time it's gonna be noon. By the time we get back, if we left right now.
It's evening though. If it's
Yeah,
half a
it's
day,
evening.
it'll be like late night when we get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like
okay. Well, I was
late
thinking
night, early morning by the time you get back.
Okay. Well, just so that there's time for us to prep the governor, I think we should leave right now, so as to not miss this opportunity of a meeting.
Yes.
Alright.
Yay, sleepless nights. Max grumbles to himself. His body not used to trekking this far at the same or all at once.
Oh, yeah, Macron's just like, oh yeah, I'm so tired, and so she's like bouncing along, skipping, like no,
Max at
I'm
this point is like
exhausted.
he's using his spear as like a walking stick at this point. He's like, all right, second wind, here we go.
Storm is just gonna look at Max, just using his staff as a walking stick, and it's like, why are you doing that?
Listen, I was never meant for hiking through the jungles repeatedly in the same day. He kind of huffs. This is starting to take its toll on me.
Build your stamina.
Yeah. He kind of waves his hand at you. Let's just get this over with. Putting one foot in front of another. He definitely, like, every now and then, like, I will say this half-day trek back turned into, like, half day plus an hour because he keeps on stopping to catch his breath.
All right.
No, he's annoying Storm every time.
Every single time.
All right. Is with that you return back to the Fogbank Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early morning.
Yep, around early morning, about when the sun's just about to start rising in the distance as you arrive back.
Look at the sun. Oh, sunrises are so pretty. Look at the sun.
Max is, like, asleep on the ground, and he's like, uh-huh, it's great.
Storm's gonna slightly kick him and say, "Get up. We still got work to do."
Yeah, I know. Even though it's not gonna do anything, Max is gonna pump a first level. Sorry, not a first level. Cantrip of spirit water into him. It's supposed to heal him, but it's just gonna like
Yeah.
splash him on its face. Alright.
I think
A
probably.
5-hour,
Yeah.
like drinking a 5-hour energy.
Yeah, 5-hour energy. I think in this case, are you guys gonna try and get some sleep in, or are you just gonna get everything sorted for the meeting?
I think we'd have to get everything sorted for the meeting at this point.
Yeah, I think we don't want to miss
Alright.
anything. So just like
In
before we
that-
get any rest, and we should talk to.
In that case, I need you all to make me Constitution saving throws.
Yeah, I kind of saw it coming.
Damn it.
Easy.
Pass for Storm. So fail for Maximus. A pass for Myanmar or for Macaron, and a fail for Erna. Maximus and Erna, you gain 1 point of exhaustion.
That's actually really fitting considering the two barbarians are the ones that passed it.
Yep, this checks out.
I told you, Macron's over here. I'm exhausted, and she's like bouncing all over the place.
Uh-huh.
And Storm just doesn't even look winded.
Me and
Keep
Erna
in mind,
just-
keep in mind, she's always carrying a giant like a hammer on her back, so she's just bouncing around with this giant hammer, make it look like it's easy.
Maximus is just like what it would be like to have stamina like that. I need my beauty rest.
I imagine
Alright,
for Maximus, dark rings around his eyes.
If you could see his eyes, that's 100% what it would be.
Alright.
We make our way to the governor's house
Yep.
or abode or wherever he is.
You are allowed in. The governor speaks to you as you are brought into his office, and he goes, "Good news. I have approval from the elders. I should be able to make proper discussions and deals with the primal spirits, as it were. There are a few concessions that I can't make, though. We will not give blood sacrifices to them. That's kind of a general thing we agreed upon."
All right, wasn't asking for that at all, but cool. Good to know.
Didn't know what they were going to ask for, so best be
We
prepared.
got till highest today to have things ready.
It's
That's
about your
sooner than I thought.
great-grandfather.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Fae are not the best with time. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right. I'll just fast track a few things. It should be fine.
Yeah, sorry. Wish I could slow it down for you, but she is quite one. She very much wants to get this over with.
All right then. Well, looking forward to then. Whew. As he just looks very nervous. Just
I lazily put my hand on his shoulder, not even realizing like maybe it's crossing a boundary. I'm just like, "You'll do great. I believe in you. I'm gonna go pass out for the next 2 to 3 hours. I'll see you at noon." And he kind of like stumbles out of the room.
right.
I know that. And Maximus knows that he won't like cure his exhaustion, but he's still gonna do it.
Yep. Just feel a little better.
I should have lesser restoration.
Actually, I'm not sure.
Is
I think
lesser rest-
lesser restoration might.
I don't. It says blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned, not exhaustion. So.
Oh, never mind then. That might be greater restoration.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Yep.
But lesser restoration is only a second level spell, so if it was ever an issue, then
Hmm.
wouldn't matter. All right. Maximus is going to dip out for until noon. I don't know what the other party members are going to do.
At this point, we really don't have much to do until that meeting, unless we meet with Raider, and there's not much of a reason for us to do so.
Macron, when they leave, Macron does voice some concern she has. So the one thing I am still worried about is we never caught that killer. What if something bad happens during the meeting?
Is this after or
Then-
before Maximus leaves?
Oh, it's probably after.
Okay, I just want to make sure, so I'm not talking.
Then we
Yeah.
fight to protect everyone around.
I
And
just
Storm says this as he like punches his fist into the palm of his hand.
I just don't want anything. I don't want this to go bad for them. I think it'd be best. Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea if we were security, I guess. If that's okay with you guys.
Me good with it.
Well, if that's the case, then good. We'll be secure. And then she just like tries to be tries to be confident. We'll be security guards then, as they have the meeting, and make sure nothing ruins it. Have to be on guard and ready to go. But she does kind of look around, like for Iris and Oz. I hope they'll be back soon.
I wanted to ask the governor something. And what about news of your great-grandfather?
We'd rather he stay unburied. No, he stay buried.
What?
You'd say. That didn't make any sense.
I'm about to say.
Was your grandfather?
Wait, hold up. Wait.
We have him hanging from the church. No,
Jesus.
no, I didn't really tell you how he died. It was, yeah.
It was brutal.
Yeah. I'd rather he stay buried as it is. As well, the other elders of the village are skeptical. My apologies, but I don't think it would be appropriate for what you had suggested before. But I appreciate the offer nonetheless.
For always stands. And then I walk out.
At this point, Stoll might as well go ahead and walk out as well.
Yeah, Macaron walks up to you, waving goodbye to the governor.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to do in preparation?
Sleep.
I relay the good news to Juniper?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
your name.
You mushroom with it.
But you
Don't
can just speak through mushrooms?
It's my eerie token. I get telepathic message, which is basically just ascending.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
You would not get a response, but it does seem you get the feeling it reaches the target you want it to, but there is not a response.
Mhm.
Fair.
All right.
Yeah, I guess she's not the call you back kind of person.
Not particularly, no. Eventually, time passes, assuming there's nothing else you would like to get done, and we arrive at the time, in particular, as we see the dryad at the edge of the village, along with what looks to be a number of different fake creatures. And the large shambling mound.
What did he?
Sam.
Tim?
Sam.
Sam. Right.
I don't know why, but I was immediately expecting Macron to go, Sam!
Sam.
Oz definitely would have done that.
I don't think she knows Sam. I don't think she knows.
No,
That's
well,
true.
that's true, yeah.
Macron probably doesn't.
And
She's
it
just
is-
like, whoa, what is that?
That's bringing up trauma.
So who's all present for the meeting? I know it's us four and
the governor. The Prado would be here, but he's watching on the sidelines.
okay.
And there
Okay.
looks to be some guards that are at the governor's side.
Okay. And could I say that I know this is kind of backtracking a little bit. Could Maximus say like he brought like a table and 2 chairs over for each one of the speakers to sit at?
Sure, if you'd like, set up a table and chairs.
Basically, putting
Yes,
it down
that's-
to be like the talking table.
Can I set up? Can I offer some tea? Have that tea like some tea set up?
Set up some tea as well.
I was gonna say Max probably wanted to, but he asked someone else to carry it.
This is true. This is very true. Max is the delegator. He's not a viewer.
So
He's like, hey, Storm, help me out.
Okay.
Xmas, I will give you one of my bark inspiration.
all right.
You're talking about me?
Yes. You're the
appreciate-
one with the +10.
I do appreciate it, but I don't know how much I'll be doing the talking in this meeting. It's between the governor and the
Take
dryad.
it. Just take it, just in case.
This is fair.
It might come in handy at some point.
I have a bad. There's something in my mind. This has been too easy. I'm in the back of my mind's telling me to get ready.
Okay, this is fair. I appreciate it, Erna.
All right.
What does Erna do to give me bardic inspiration? Can I just ask that?
I give you a quick reading. Like a 1-card reading.
It's for flavor reasons only. I'm just gonna say like it's interesting giving Maximus a reading because his whole thing is like everybody's on a destined path, and although fates can change, it's still a certain path that everybody's walking down. And giving a future reading or something like that about him is just like He doesn't know how to accept it because he's like, I believe you, but at the same time, what?
Yeah, we have like total opposites in that aspect there.
Yeah. So
Never. I mean, it's not that much for reading. Just literally, Ernie walks up to you, grabs your pawn, reads, and it's like, good luck, man.
Yeah, look at that and go, ooh. You're gonna need
Runs
this.
back on, and then runs back.
Gives you inspiration.
Gives inspiration. All right. So I guess we lead the governor and Juniper
Mhm.
to the table and begin the talks. I don't know
Alright.
how it's gonna start, but
You would see the governor kind of stands at the other side of the table, a little too nervous to sit down. And the dryad also stands on the other side of the table, um, mostly because she doesn't do chairs. Uh,
Fair.
I guess I didn't think about that.
and she just kind of stands there and looks to the governor. The governor looks back and then also looks to you guys as well. Where he goes, I believe there is something that needs to be discussed in the way of an old promise to you and the people of the natural order. And I would like to discuss it further in the hopes of coming to an accord. With that, the dryad just seems to lean forward and go, Your people have broken an ancient oath sworn to me, one by one of your former leaders. However, I am not interested in destruction nor war, so perhaps an agreement can be made in which you retract the lands you have invaded and return to the agreed upon area. Upon which you see the governor look around and go, I don't think that's going to be possible, sadly. The village has grown much since the time that my great grandfather's age. We simply have too many people for that. People would go without homes. You see the dryad kind of look to him and go, That is my offer. And he kind of looks around, and he would actually look to you guys in kind of a help me kind of look. The governor seems to not be quite sure how to move forward.
At this point, Maximus will step forward and say, You guys both have valid arguments. And I turn to Juniper specifically and I say, You have come very far to have this meeting, and we, and I gesture to all the humans present, are very crap, what's the word I'm looking for? Keen's blanking on a word. Oh, grateful. we are very grateful for your presence here. As you can see, and I again gesture at the extended borders of the village, what the governor says is true. There have been, throughout the generations, more and more people living here and calling this home. It will be against wise counsel to just simply retract these houses and these structures back into the preceding areas. However, I turn to the governor at this point and I say, simply existing where you are now is in direct opposition to the promise that was once made. So my proposition is to come to an agreement, basically. Only the houses outside of the ring, only the strictly residential areas should be allowed to stay. But the taverns, the working houses, the strictly non-residential buildings shall be torn down, and the grounds they're standing on shall be reconstituted towards the primal side. Again, this is only an option. I present it to you to discuss further.
Make a persuasion roll.
This is hard.
And it will be a
Inspiration.
disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Oh crap, that's true.
But you do have your inspiration.
What dice is the inspiration at
It's a
this point?
D8.
D8.
It's
Alright,
pretty
so
big.
Persuasion plus 8. Disadvantage. All right.
Oh damn.
Okay.
An 18.
So not a 32, but
See, the governor seems to think this over for a few moments before going. Definitely, I think that could be agreeable on our side at least. Upon which the Dryad turns to the governor and also to you and goes, perhaps an agreed upon settlement such as has been offered by this man here could be agreed upon. However, what guarantee that I have that our new promise will not be broken just like the last? You humans do not live very long, and for that reason, if our promise is forgotten, then I will find myself in the same situation as I do now.
Well, laws tend to last for a long time. What if it became a new law in the port town that your land is sacred, and no human may, and any human that violates it is at the mercy of the Fae?
That the governor
Yes,
thinks upon it. Go on.
This promise can be set in stone and actually be written down now instead of just worded.
Indeed, the governor says, speaking up. I will make sure that it is known, and that it will not be forgotten. That is my solemn oath. You see the Dryad turn to him and go, your forefathers promised the same. But perhaps you will do better. Go ahead.
I was just gonna. Maximus speaks up and just says, "What Macaron suggested is probably the best course of action. The governor here is a very trustworthy man, but over the course of many, many generations, the people themselves may begin to forget these laws. But those people who do should be at the mercy of the Fae, or denizens of this forest that you guys lay claim as home."
I think that can be agreed upon. The governor speaks up. That the Dryad turns to him. Very well. I think this is agreeable. However, should this promise be broken, I will not be able to... Let me actually redo that. If this promise is broken again, the vengeance of the natural world will be uncalculable. Know that, mortal. That you see the governor visibly gulp.
I think we all do.
Better make it a plaque on that rock.
Have a sign like every 3 feet on the wall.
Do not
Someone
forget.
better-
Please. There, Maximus will speak up and be like, "We will begin, or sorry, not we, but there will be processes made in the next few days about tearing down these required buildings, but a new wall should be constructed." Looking at the governor, he says this: "A new wall should be constructed so it's not forgotten, like the rocks beneath our feet."
Yes, of course. I will make sure that is First priority. He looks around a little nervous. The dryad goes. He seems to smile at that. The dryad turns to you all and goes, "Very well then. Let us hope we never see each other again." She says that specifically to the governor, less to you guys. But with that, she turns around and begins to walk off into the forest.
Bye,
However,
Juniper.
as she does,
My lady.
Erna,
And I
you
just
would
say-
get a psychic voice through the connection of your token. You would hear from her, "You have done me a great kindness, as well as the rest of your village. You and your friends are welcome to move through the forest, should you wish, so long as you bring no harm to it. As well, there is a spirit among my protectorate that wishes to speak with you and your group."
Yay, more traveling.
Really
This was like the response to the sending.
Yes. Or, probably in a way that makes more sense in this case, it's ascending to you.
Okay.
In either case, you receive this message.
Yes, my lady. We will be in contact soon.
You can get a confirmation from that.
Maximus turns to the governor. Or sorry, you were gonna say something?
No, you go right ahead.
I was just gonna say I was gonna turn to the governor and hold out a hand for him to shake and be like, "You have made momentous history today. I'm sure your people will never forget this moment."
Yes, well, couldn't have been done without the help of you all. Truly, you have both my thanks and the thanks of my people.
Aw, it's just another day of work.
Should you find your way to the capital, I will tell my father that you have been of great help to us. Perhaps he might be able to return the favor. He is, after all, the senator for this village.
Oh,
We will
I
be
also want to go ahead and warn your father about recent events.
Does Macaron actually say that, or is that just like Mabel saying that?
Nope, that's me. That's Macaron. That's Macaron.
I was like, you should say that's me. It's like, yes, this is true. Maybe if we do see him, we will keep an extra wary eye on his doings. Can I get his name? I get that your same last name is Bank, but his full name is...
His name is Senator Gaius Bank.
Wait, so he has the same name as you?
Yes, technically I'm Gaius Jr.
Oh, you're...
Ah. That
Oh,
makes more
yes.
sense. Maybe I'm still a little sleep deprived. Thought I heard you just say your own name. Makes sense.
Your name's so nice, you have to say it twice.
Yes, well, it's kind of a family tradition at this point.
Ah. Well, I think this calls for celebration.
How do you plan on celebrating?
Getting a tall glass of wine and then sleeping the rest of the day.
Yes, well, I think I might do the same. Thank you once again.
You are most welcome. I'm glad that we were only able to help. I'm just sad that our friends were not here to witness it. I'm sure Oz will have missed this. I wonder where they are. Looks up at the sky.
With that, we see the camera pan up as it fades away. And I think it's with that we'll probably call the session here. So when hopefully next week if we have everyone here, actually, keep an eye on that because I may not be available for next week. In either case,
Oh.
whenever we do the next session, hopefully we have everyone,
Yeah.
and we'll move forward.
I won't be able to do next week.
I think
That's
there
fine.
we go.
I'm going
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
camping.
Comic-Con.
Right. Yeah. In which case, we will wrap up this session and say thank you to our audience who is watching. I hope you all have enjoyed. This has been made possible due to the work of Auroraverse by Sensei Suplex. So check out his stuff. I believe he has some things on there about how you can join if you would like to, and you can see this lovely crew in action for a price determined somewhere in some place. And yeah, I'd like to thank my lovely players. I'd love to love my
Ew.
thankfully players. Great as always. And yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes next once we regroup with everyone. Until then, I'll wish you all a good night, and to our audience, we will see you when we next are live.
Woo.
Yeah.
I'm pretty burned
Oh, I
out,
just
I'll be
died.
honest. See you guys!
Look, you seem tired.
Before
Bye.
we all go,
Bye.
Oh yeah,
I-
what do you?
I just wanna I just want Arna to convey the sending I got to the rest of the party,
Right.
so that I
Easy
don't
enough.
forget it next week.
Makes sense.
That's fair. Alright.
I'll do my best to write down like an actual summary, whatever.
Bye, Mark.
Bye.